Hey guys, this is Night of the Batman. I'm Alex.
I'm Amanda.
I just sprung this on her. Anyway, we're here today to review, I almost said episode, issue 2 of the Batman New 52 title, The Court of Owls. I'll get better at, streamlining that or finding a, shorter way of saying that. But yeah, anyway, issue 2 of this, and you were going to carry this because I've been out in 90-degree weather today.
And I've done nothing all day.
You didn't have to say that on the show.
Well, I mean, I was off, and I wasn't going to do anything. I got stuff to do, but after.
We're all proud of Amanda. She's doing great anyway.
Well, I did do something. I beat, 3 levels in Chain of Memories. So,
we are very proud of Amanda. She's doing great.
Anyway, so let's jump in. So it opens up again with, a Bruce Wayne monologue, talking about Wayne Tower and about the gargoyles on Wayne Tower and about how they're meant to protect the city and for different things and how each one has a meaning and how no expense was spared in the building and how he wanted it to be open to the public, the observation area, and how the glass was supposed to be unbreakable, except plot twist, it's not actually unbreakable, it's just really hard to break, and if you know how to do it and you do it correctly, you can shatter it. And Bruce Wayne is falling to his death. He's been hit with little knives, and you can see that there are owls on them. And you're just like, oh no, what happened? And then 24 hours earlier...
that old trope. I bet you wonder how I got here. Yep. With, the music and everything. The meme.
People have stolen something. Alex assumes that it is statues. It
seems like bodies, though, based off the dialogue. They're not very specific.
Straight to take. Yeah, but they do say to take the statues. So I guess, they stole some...
He seems like he's struggling right there, though, in that one panel.
Yeah, statues super heavy.
So are people, though. So, that's...
But, if it's
I think it's We're gonna make a definitive cut right here and say that it's statues just so we can keep going to the description.
I was going to say, I'm assuming it's a statue because, if it's a marble statue, that's going to weigh significantly more than a person would.
Yeah.
And they also make a comment about them being,
not going to scream or something?
Pale girls. So anyway, Batman's being super brutal.
Super reckless in a way is more of the word for it.
It doesn't feel like calculated Bruce Wayne to me, but I'm also not a Batman girly, so.
Well, I will say, he's right next to him. They're in a helicopter and he pulls the guy out of the window and is kind of just dangling him out there on a train track, as they keep moving. And it's one of those things, he is acting reckless, but I do think, and we'll get this more as we go further into the storyline and future issues, but, there's a reason. There's a reason you're seeing him kind of do this, is because, he thinks he's got Gotham all figured out and everything all figured out there, and, Gotham kind of shows him later that, no, you don't, and, that's his whole character arc in this is learning. Kind of a humbling of him.
Yeah. So then you find out that they've got the body they found, that he's in the morgue, and Commissioner Gordon is talking to the oh my god, what is the name of the person?
Coroner.
Yes. I was like, they do autopsies and stuff, but they work for the police coroner. But yeah, so he's talking to the coroner about it, and the coroner leaves, hits the lights, and then Batman shows up. He has a scanner. They're, looking through the body, trying to figure it out. They're like, oh, so he's, this villain trainer, basically. And then they realize there's something weird going on with Molar, and there's, an implanted,
It's like a
owl.
Yeah, like a fill-in, except, it's on the actual cap of, the tooth or something.
Oh, yeah, that's where fillings go. It's,
anyway,
I
don't know.
But, yeah, there's, a crack in the tooth, and, that's, in the crack. I don't know. But, yeah, so they're looking at it, and, oh, wow, it is an owl, and it's, a reference to the Court of Owl, and Jim Gordon's like, well, and Batman's like, nah. I'm the only legend in Gotham. I'm the only, nursery rhyme.
That hubris.
Which, yeah. I yelled into the other room when I was reading this. I was like, the hubris on this man! No, sweetie. There are things bigger than you. You may not have experienced them, but there are. You are not God.
He's kind of acting, so, like, context, the previous story, like, people call, like, that version of Batman, like, Bat God, because he, like, knows everything, is trained for every single possible outcome. Grant Morrison was writing it. And this one is a little bit more grounded, but also I think it's, like, kind of, like, certain fans think that Batman knows everything, and maybe he's acting how, like, I'm kind of, like, looking in a meta way, he's kind of acting how fans think he would act because he knows everything, and there's a point to that. What, you were flailing your arms? What is it?
Sorry, I was just looking. The art is so good, and Dick Grayson looks so good.
Oh yeah, Greg Capullo's great.
I'm a Dick Grayson girly.
What do you think of his costume in this, by the way?
I love it.
Not the blue, but the red?
It's fine. It's gorgeous.
Because it reminds you of Batman and Robin?
No, actually, it makes me think of oh my god, Terry McGinnis, yes.
I was like, if you ever have anything Batman related, unless it's like super obscure, like a name or something, like, for the most part, I'll get it right.
Will Friedle as Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would have made a good, like young Will Friedle would have made like a decent
Jason Todd.
No, I was just gonna say Robin in general, like maybe even Nightwing, possibly.
See, I don't know. He's not pretty or charismatic enough
to
be Dick Grayson. I'm sorry.
Ouch. He's not like hideous though.
No,
wow.
Okay, so Dick Grayson is a certain kind of pretty. It's like this dark, refined.
Would you say that Brendan Thwaites kind of fits?
Who's that?
The guy that plays him in Titans. Do you think he fits?
I don't remember what he looks like.
Nightwing. Oh, hold on. Just for the sake of this, hold on. You keep talking. I'm gonna look up a picture.
1 second. Let me.
No, wait. Hold on. You keep talking. I'm looking up something.
Okay. Anyway, so like, sorry, I was just fangirling over Dick Grayson. So anyway, they go back to the Batcave and Batman's like talking because Commissioner Gordon was asking about the DNA, and Batman's like, "Yep, nope, nothing." Even though it was our boy Dick. So
is he good?
His hair's too light, but he's fine.
I'll look for a picture with him like that one.
The hair is still too light. He needs to have black hair, like level 3 to like 1. And if level 3 hair, like I have level 3, so like I have dark brown hair, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, you have black hair." I'm like, "No, I don't." Anyway,
I
will soon though. No, he's
That's
not
not
pretty.
A flattering
I was like,
picture
he's
of
not
him.
pretty.
I'm trying to look one where he's just like has face relaxed. This one. This is a good picture of him.
He's fine.
He's from The Giver. He's the homeboy from The Giver.
But like his jaw's too soft. Like
This is a better picture of him too.
He looks too nice.
She's really picky, guys.
Listen. No. Okay, so like he like in my head.
Oh, so you've thought about this.
Dick Grayson, like if he's a live action like Dick Grayson, he needs to look like the kind of guy who you would assume would be. Okay, so Colton Hayes, his face would be fine. Like very defined features, very pretty, but like
he's already a character.
It gives off like douchebag vibes. He needs to look like he would be an absolute jerk, but he's not. But he needs to have that look.
I've never even had that take on him. You've put a lot more thought into this than...
Like, he needs to have that, like, gorgeous face, like that, "Oh, he would probably be really mean to me" look. But he's not, and like that, I don't know. But yeah. So
you haven't also seen the show, though, so you don't know how he acts in the show.
Yeah, and I guess, like, the way you like, that a character can carry him would kind of give off the same vibe.
Because those are just images. That's not, like, a scene.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
But, like, for me, to hit, like, the attractive enough, like, there's, like, a certain level of attractiveness you have to be to just have that look without trying.
So do I have that kind of vibe? Because you said you wanted me to cosplay as Nightwing.
I mean...
That if you didn't know me, would you think I was, like, an asshole or something? Do I give off that vibe or no?
No, you're too skinny.
What does that have to do with weight?
Well... Because they also need to be like in order to have that vibe, they have to give like, "Oh, you play a sport. Like you probably play like a college sport. Like you are a big guy. You're like built like
We're
It's like a whole vibe.
We're almost 10 minutes in. Let's keep moving.
Anyway, I love Dick Grayson. I put way too much thought about him.
That was my thought. That was my fault. I kind of pulled us in that direction for a second just because I was interested in what she would have to say.
Anyway, so they're talking about it, and Batman's like, so why was your DNA there? And he's like, oh, this guy looks familiar. He grabbed me at this charity thing, and he was talking about, like, people coming to get us, how they're real, they're everywhere, and they're sending him for you, all of you. Like, you know, crazy talk. And Dick is just like, bro, why would I... Sorry, it sounded like somebody hit your car, but they didn't.
Well, good. Anyway.
He was like, why would I tell you about it? I thought he was some religious zealot who was talking about God coming to, like, rapture our souls or whatever. And so Batman, you know, heads out, and Dick's like, hey, have fun. Apparently you're going to die in 12 hours. And so he meets with Lincoln March. They look like brothers. But, like, Lincoln's hair is, like, straight, which is just not a good look. Like, it needs the waves for it to...
They would look too similar at that point.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, he just looks goofy.
But, like, he's supposed to look kind of dorky. Like, he is very, like white. Like, he's literally wearing white. Like, it's, like, the whole white knight thing.
But he, no, like, the vibe it gives is, like, you know, like, there's photos of, like, small little boys who look really smug with, like, little bow ties. You're just like, oh, you get bullied.
I don't know that. That's a very specific example.
Oh, God, you like that movie, and you have, like, you colored the glasses in?
Oh, like Ralphie from Christmas Story?
Yeah, like, he looks like he'd get bullied. Anyway, I digress. So they're talking, and they're like... And Bruce writes a check, and he's like, this is what you wanted, right? He's like, actually, I just want your vote. Like, I just want your vote. I think that we're, like, the same. And he tells this tragic backstory about his parents dying and how he had made his mom a heart-shaped pin, but it was lopsided.
It's like a drunk driver, right?
Yeah, and how he just wanted somebody to pick up the pin, and nobody picked up the pin, and how, like, Gotham healed him, and he thinks Gotham healed Bruce, and, like, that they're the same. And then the Talon shows up. You know it's the Talon. It's the Talon. Stabs Lincoln, sends Bruce through the window after Bruce tries to fight him, but make it look like, you know...
Like lucky shots, which I thought was a really cool touch that they did.
Yeah, and then Bruce was, like, super, super, super concerned that, like, the Talon wasn't, like, flinching at all when he's, like...
He's trying to
the windpipe, like, knock him out.
Knock him out, yeah.
Also, can I talk about something that I feel like the author probably wouldn't know, but I know because my brother used to kill for a living?
Do we want to talk about this on the air?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me clarify. My brother was in the Marines and he was in infantry.
Yeah, I'm like, don't go too in depth. Like, what? I'm kind of nervous now. What is your example? Do I need to cut this out?
No. So he was talking about when you put somebody in a headlock and you're trying to knock them out. You're trying to like, you know, incapacitate them.
Yeah.
What you're not doing, you're not choking them. You're cutting off the blood circulation to their brain is the proper way to do that. And so he's talking about, like, crushing his windpipe, and I'm like, you're doing it the wrong way. You're putting more effort than you need to, because it takes far less effort to just pinch off the arteries that go to your brain and your neck. And the only reason I know that is we went into, like, a long, because he used to, like, I still roughhouse with my brothers. Like, they're in their 30s, I'm in my 20s, but, like, you know, we're siblings. Siblings are siblings. And so Billy would, like, get me in a headlock, and he'd be like, you know, I can knock you out right now. Like, I could blah, 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 blah. And he would, like, talk me through, like, how he could and, like, why. Because, anyway, siblings. I love them. They would, like, literally do anything for me. And this man, like, literally paid for, like, 2 different semesters in college, paid for my books.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like, he wasn't actually threatening me, and I don't want it to come off that way. But, like, siblings roughhouse, and if you don't have siblings, you wouldn't know that. But yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, in defense of maybe the author / the artist of this, is that, like, this guy is actually trying to kill him, so maybe he's trying to, like, hold him like that, so, like, he won't try to keep, like, you know, doing like that and stuff like that.
It would take longer for you to pass out, suffocating your airways, than it will cutting off blood circulation to your brain.
It might have been something he just doesn't know.
I know, and anyway.
It was a good point. I was just trying to, you know, like, maybe, or maybe just come up with an in-story reason as to why there was that, like, oversight, possibly.
Yeah, I just, And the only, like, again, it's niche knowledge that I feel like most people wouldn't know, so it wouldn't affect, like, the readability of this. But,
yeah, no, because I didn't know that, and I read this, like, years ago.
Yeah. Also, shout out to my brother. Love you.
Go ahead.
But yeah. So, anyway, so he's, like, knocked through the glass. And
that's a gorgeous shot,
too. And the art in this is absolutely stunning.
Oh, yeah, Greg Capullo's great. He's one of my favorite Batman artists.
You know what I think would make Bruce Wayne, like, a more compelling character?
What?
Green eyes.
He has green eyes sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
Just depends on the artist.
Yeah. So, or a more visually appealing character. There we go. So he's, like, falling, and he's talking about how, like, he doesn't know what he's gonna do, and then he's like, but I forgot to mention something that like, your tour guides wouldn't tell you. He's like, there's another gargoyle, and it's in the middle of the building. It's the 13th, and it was added by my great-great-grandfather, and it's to welcome visitors coming to Gotham from air. And he, like, lands on it, and you just see the Talon keep falling, and he, like,
crushes
lands on a
car. Yeah.
Yeah. And he thinks, I'm going to just read it, because, like, it's just the hubris on this man. Whoever it was that just tried to kill me, he was good. But he made one mistake. He tried to use Gotham's legends against me. But I'm the only legend this city needs. Like, I'm just like, boy, this is going to be your undoing.
Oh, it gets rough. It gets rough in the future episodes, or future issues. It might as well be episodes, whatever. It's like future issues of it. He goes through it in this. This is one of the times where Batman gets broken. So, like, there's a point to it.
It makes me feel like I'm, like, reading a Greek, like, tragedy, or, like, I'm going through a Greek myth, like a Greek heroic myth. Like reading about it, like Aeneas or something. Which, granted, Aeneas is Latin, but, like, same difference. Just because, like, it feels like a very heroic structure where they're gonna break him down and then build him back up.
Oh yeah.
And, like,
that's like a common thing.
Even going in blind, like, I feel like I would feel that vibe from the first two issues.
Well, yeah, that's like a common thing with, like, superheroes now. I think whenever I was reading it was like this had already come, like, the book you're holding was already collected. So I already knew future stuff, which we are not going to flip through and read right now.
I'm just looking.
And so I already knew some of the places it was going. And so, like, I was kind of prepared for it. But I'm really interested I remember this. The first image, or one of the first images, and I might use it as, like, one of the images for this. Like, one of the first things we saw of Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's, like, this was Batman on the ground, like, bleeding with, like, one of the Talons behind him, and we didn't know what that was at the time. Did you notice, by the way, that in this version of it, like, the original interpretation, the Talon talks? And, like, I don't remember in the old and the, like, Gotham Knights, I don't think they ever talked, did they? They were mostly silent, right?
Yeah, they were silent.
Yeah, and so, like, one of the things he says is, like, I love killing Waynes.
Yep.
And stuff like that, which is interesting, which kind of implies that he's been around forever. It's already kind of giving you clues about that. And did you already say that the Talon killed the people in the ambulance?
No.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, and so, like, after Bruce has, like, that big hubris, he still has, like, his little monologue, which I do think is, like, a really good narrative device to have him, like, introduce everything. And it's, like, I don't know if it's meant to be internal monologue or, like,
it's meant to be internal. Either that, or he in the comics
or just narration.
It's kind of both. In the comics, he has, like, a journal that he writes, and I think, like, some people say it's a journal entry, but, like, it's also just its internal monologue. Like, it's however you want to really take it, honestly.
Because, like, as Bruce is talking about how Gotham is, like, his best, like, his truest, oldest friend, and how he knows it better than anyone.
How sad is that?
How there is no Court of Owls, not in Gotham, not in my city. You get to watch the Talon just, like, kill these ambulance people, like, these EMTs who are trying to save his life, which is so, like, upsetting, but, like,
well, no, he's dead. He's in a body bag. Because you see, like, the eyes light up under the body bag right there. That's one of the scenes I really like, because I think he's dead. And he gets out of the body bag and murders them and is driving the ambulance.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel like at this point, Bruce should be too old to have such hubris. So I think it's going to actually be satisfying watching him be broken.
It's rough. That's the only thing I gotta say, because I've read Batman the Cult, which is one of my favorite versions of that kind of story, just in general because of the art. Speaking of the art gets in subsequent things. Like, I'm not saying that this is bad. This is amazing, but if you like this art, you just wait till we get to the future stuff and it gets more refined and stuff like that. What's up?
I don't think I would enjoy the content of Spawn, but I think that, like, the art is so, like, gorgeous and, like, visually interesting. It feels very, like...
It can be.
I don't know.
It's very nice. Like, especially the early stuff, it's very 90s.
Maximalist.
Yeah. But, yeah.
I don't know. So, I enjoy it.
Are you more attached to this issue versus last issue? Do you feel like more happened in this one?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like...
It's more action.
Yeah...
Which I know you're not a fan of.
I'm really... So, I'm going to talk about me again for a second. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Call me a narcissist.
We're towards the tail end of the episode.
In general, I prefer exposition as opposed to, like, action. I like dialogue. I like character interactions that, like, build story. And I think that action oftentimes is not conducive to good story building. So I think that I'm going to use anime as an example. Like, if you look at something like Dragon Ball Z, you could probably cut most of the fight scenes down significantly and progress the story much quicker and make it much more satisfying to watch.
You can. It's called Kai. They did that. They cut out all the filler and all the, even some of the extra fight scene stuff in it. Just to make it a more concise story.
But they cut out all the good, like small character stuff. Like
you can't have it both ways. Either you want a more concise story or you want the long, drawn-out thing.
No. I don't want long, drawn-out fight scenes because those are pointless. But character building, additional, like, world building, additional stuff that adds to, like, the lore and understanding that universe is good. Fight scenes don't add to that.
Well, I'll agree with you a little bit there. Sometimes in a fight scene, like, my eyes will glaze over a little bit if it's more than a few minutes. But for me, it's not my favorite. It used to be. It's not my favorite thing now. But, like, my thing also is a lot of filler. The reason it's cut out is because, one, either it contradicts something in the story, or two, it's just superfluous stuff that doesn't really contribute anything either to the story or to the characters. So, like, when I say filler, I mean, like, for instance, if we're talking Dragon Ball Z, like, Marin, that girl that looked exactly like Bulma, was just a sex object even more than Bulma, and was not referred to, and even after the fact, his daughter was named Marin, which was originally in the books. So, like, I don't, like, logically, it's just one of those things you think about where you're like, you really named your daughter after your ex that heavily resembled Bulma and some horny animators made back in the day.
So I'm going to use an example of stuff that they cut out, that the driver's license episode.
Well, that's like one.
But let me explain. It shows that, like, they may be good at multiple things, but they cannot excel at everything. It humanizes the characters and makes them more relatable. I think that removing filler like that negatively impacts the progression of the story. There are also shows where, like Naruto, for instance, there are, like, filler arcs focusing around Shikamaru, and they add depth to his character that you don't get otherwise. A lot of side characters are given character development in filler arcs, and it makes it more enjoyable. And instead of doing that, you focus on these 10-episode long fight scenes.
I'll agree with you there. Anyway, back to the issue.
Anyway, it was enjoyable. I did not feel like the action was wasted, though. The thing about comics and action is that there's always dialogue or exposition. It's not just photos. It's not just like there is story building within it. So like you're getting character from Bruce. You're understanding, you're learning who he is in this universe and in this context, in these scenes. He's like, well, I gotta do this. So you're seeing him as a tactician. You're seeing him trying to figure out how to both protect his identity and keep people safe. You're watching him think through all the possibilities. And you're hearing him do that while he's falling. And then you're seeing him like standing there on the gargoyle. You're getting to understand why he has such hubris, while also like quickly understanding that it's going to be his downfall. Like you see that he has constantly succeeded, and so in his mind, because it has been such a constant succession, since he has constantly succeeded, he has had victory after victory. He's never been humbled, and so he assumes he must always be right. He must always be correct. And you're listening to him explain why this is, how this is his city, his Gotham. And you're getting to listen to him talk about that while watching him be incorrect. It's so good. It's so good. So, like, I enjoyed it. But I thought the first episode... first issue...
It's the same thing.
I thought the first issue was engaging, too. Also, side note, I remember Vicky Vale's name now.
That's good. Yeah, what we were watching or no,
My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah, and they made her a bitch in that episode. Anyway, guys, also watch that. But for me, it's just one of those things with ramping up. I remember this moment, and also we got to see how that scene was supposed to end in this versus how it was in Gotham Knights. That whole thing, we got thrown out the window. Like, we saw what was supposed to happen. It was Batman was supposed to be able to beat that one Talon, and I think like it was cool that in the show they kind of did like that show pulled a lot from these books, and as we read and get more into it, Harper's even in this. I was showing you this while we were off mic, but yeah, like a lot of the things in the groundwork and a lot of the story elements that they pulled from in Gotham Knights came directly from this book, and I can't wait to get more into it. And also, it does make my heart happy that you like something that's Batman-related comics. I know that it's like one of those, I wouldn't say a cold day in hell, but I'm like one of those things where I'm like, I feel like if we weren't doing a podcast, there is no way that I would get Amanda to sit down and read a story arc of Batman. It's nothing against her or anything. I just know that Batman, unless it's Batman and Robin, is not your thing.
I like Nightwing.
You like Gotham Knights as well, but like other than that, it's like if it's just Batman, you're like, no.
I like Wilfred L. Eric. What is it
Batman
called?
Beyond?
Yeah.
That show is okay.
I like the animated movies.
Oh, I like Return of the Joker is an amazing movie, but that show, have you ever gone and tried to rewatch that show again? Other than the first episode?
I watched what I've watched with you.
It's a little rough.
I like Batwoman.
Yeah, Batwoman's good for the most part.
Or I like the first season of Batwoman.
You didn't watch the later ones.
It's also because I have a bit of a gay crush on Ruby Rose, but like whatever.
She seems like she'd be rude.
You know, she could play Dick Grayson. She has the vibe.
There is no... You want the internet, especially certain side of the internet, to lose their mind. You do that.
Fight me. I don't know. Like...
Anyway, I was going to get to what I liked about it, and then we got derailed.
Sorry.
But, like, the Talon was really cool. The old Lincoln March, like, him really trying to, like, set up their...
He looks so good. The Talon, like, the design.
Yeah. Them trying to set up their whole, their friendship and everything. And there was also a book that was a spinoff of this that lasted for a little bit called Talon. Why are you raising your hand like you're in class?
You were talking. I was
Yes,
reading.
what is it?
is it just me, or do like the vibes of his like costume also kind of remind you of like the Riddler from the Batman? Edward Cullen Batman?
Yeah, it's not. That's of course not intentional though. Like it's probably just a happy accident because
it's the goggles.
Yeah, because we were reading through this and we'll definitely get into this in a future episode. But when Harper's talking, she's like, "Oh, epic bat fail thing," and I was just like, "You can really tell when this was made, and this was made in 2011, 2012."
Well,
so like some of the slang's a little dated. I don't think
the movie was trying to.
No, they were more influenced by the Zodiac Killer and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, which you can really see with like the glasses because he wore allegedly, like according to eyewitness accounts, because he was never caught.
We don't know who he was. My favorite Zodiac Killer theory is that he was. Oh God, what's the Texas senator guy's name?
Ted Cruz.
Yes.
The what's he called? Like Droopy the dog. People compare his face to how Droopy the dog looks. The internet's mean, guys. Anyway. But yeah, like I really enjoyed this issue. This issue was had a lot of cool action moments in it. The art is gorgeous, of course. The story's good. It's very wordy, which is fine. That's how Scott Snyder kind of writes.
I think I like his writing style.
Yeah, and for me, it's just
continue.
Okay. Anyway. It's just like an ADD thing, but if something has a lot of words, sometimes, like, I'll be like, I'll read it, but it'll take me a little longer, because, like, my reading speed's a little slower.
I think that, has this been, like, critically acclaimed?
Yeah.
I would love, okay, I was going to say, because to me, it reads like literature with a capital L.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, look at all the acclaim on the back.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like one of the like best Batman stories of all time.
I just didn't mean like I just meant like in general, like critically acclaimed as like literature in the way that you would look at something like Pride and Prejudice or like a New York Times bestselling novel.
Yeah, people bring this up in their top. Like I'm just saying, like I'm not saying towards what you were saying, but like the people say this is like one of the top 10 Batman stories of all time.
Because I feel like I could write like a 35-page dissertation on this, comparing it to like a hero's tale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I think
it's very Greek. I don't know how else to explain it. It's very Greek.
Yeah, don't quote me on this. I think that Scott Snyder used to be a teacher. I think I remember an interview of him saying he used to be one, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look more into that. And I'll probably look into that in a future thing. But yeah, it would make sense with the whole history lesson. I know he has like a thing with history, and that's why he has like what fans affectionately call like a history lesson thing at the beginning, where he have like a wall of text. Not a wall of text, but talking about like in this one, it was the gargoyles, and the last one, it was like the Gotham Is article thing. Yeah,
but I feel like that's like necessary for the story. It like is a really good plot device, and it's different from what I've read. Granted, most of my comic like stuff is either Spider-Man or Spider-Gwen that I have like willingly went out of my way to read, so maybe not the best comparison points.
It's still valid though. But anyway, yeah, I'd say we both recommend this, and yeah, I'm excited to get into the future stuff. I already know where the story is going, so I'm excited to see what your reactions are once you get there. If you guys haven't read this out there, please do.
Is this the complete story?
This is the first part. There's another part that I'll show you later.
Do you have it hard copy?
We'll figure it out off mic anyway.
Okay. What I was going to say was after, like, when we're done, we can talk about this off mic. I have an idea for a project for your YouTube channel.
My YouTube? This is just Spotify.
I don't know, but you have a YouTube channel. I had an idea for a project revolving around this for your YouTube channel.
Okay, anyway,
I want to do a video essay.
But yeah, I'll probably have to make a new YouTube channel, because that one's just basically for personal stuff. Now, anyway, though, unless you got anything else, go read it, guys. Go definitely experience it, and tell us what you think in the comments about it. Like, tell us what your thoughts are. What?
If you're not a Batman fan, this is the Batman thing I recommend you read.
That's interesting. But yeah. Anyway, this is Not the Batman. I'm Alex.
I'm Amanda.
And we will come up with a catchphrase eventually.